Introduction. The key to success. Success is not an accident. While we often hear stories of people who seem to have found success overnight, what we rarely talk about is the journey they took to get there. The path to success is filled with obstacles, but there are certain principles that all successful people follow. One of the biggest mistakes many people make is thinking that success is about working harder and longer. However, there are deeper reasons why successful people get ahead. And it's not just because they work harder, it's because they avoid making the same mistakes that many of us do. In this article, we're going to look at 5 mistakes that successful people never make. These mistakes, though subtle, can derail the most determined individuals. They often go unnoticed, especially when we are busy chasing success, but they play a significant role in whether we succeed or fail. Let's dive deep into these 5 critical mistakes that successful people avoid, and how you can incorporate these principles into your own life. Not setting vague goals. Why it's a mistake. One of the most common mistakes people make is failing to set clear and specific goals. It's easy to say, "I want to be successful." But what does that mean exactly? When you don't define what success looks like, how can you possibly know how to get there? Vague goals are essentially a way of setting yourself up for failure. Without clear goals, you lack direction, focus, and the drive to keep going when the road gets tough. Reality check. Think of it this way. Imagine driving to a destination you've never been to before without a map or GPS. You have no idea where you're going, and you don't know how long it will take to get there. What are the chances that you'll reach your destination without getting lost? Not very high, right? Successful people, on the other hand, know exactly where they're going. They have a clear vision of what they want to achieve and a well-defined plan to get there. Whether it's starting a business, losing weight, or writing a book, they break down their goals into actionable steps that lead them to their ultimate objective. How successful people set clear goals. They don't just set vague intentions like, "I want to be healthier," or "I want to make more money." Instead, they break these broad goals down into specific, measurable actions. For instance, instead of saying, "I want to make more money," they might set a goal like, "I will increase my income by 20% over the next 6 months by expanding my business and learning new skills." This goal is clear, specific, and actionable. The importance of SMART goals. One useful method that successful people use is the SMART framework. This stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Using this framework, they ensure that their goals are not just aspirations, but well-planned and achievable milestones. Neglecting mental health. Why it's a mistake. Many people believe that in order to succeed, they must sacrifice their personal well-being. The idea is that hard work requires total dedication, and that includes neglecting self-care. However, this is one of the most harmful myths around success. Neglecting mental health can lead to burnout, stress, and ultimately, failure. Reality check. Imagine working tirelessly for months without taking a break. You're constantly on edge, feeling exhausted, and at some point you stop enjoying what you're doing. The stress piles up, and your productivity starts to decrease. Without realizing it, you're setting yourself up for burnout, which can derail your progress. Successful people understand that mental health is just as important as physical health. They make time for self-care, meditation, relaxation, and activities that help them recharge. They know that to perform at their best, they need to prioritize their mental well-being. How successful people prioritize mental health. Rather than working non-stop, they incorporate mindfulness practices into their daily routines, such as meditation, journaling, or simply taking a walk in nature. They also make sure to take breaks and unplug from work regularly. By doing so, they maintain a healthy balance, which helps them stay focused, calm, and productive. The role of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is another key factor. Successful people are often highly emotionally intelligent. They are aware of their feelings, understand how to manage them, and know how to stay calm under pressure. This emotional stability allows them to make better decisions, communicate effectively, and handle challenges with grace. Taking learning opportunities for granted. Why it's a mistake. When people become successful, they often fall into the trap of thinking they know everything there is to know. This is especially true for individuals who have reached a high level in their careers or businesses. The truth is, learning never stops. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Reality check. Think about a successful entrepreneur or athlete. They didn't reach the top by knowing everything. Instead, they constantly seek new opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. Whether it's through reading books, attending seminars, or learning from mentors, they understand that growth requires continuous learning. How successful people embrace lifelong learning. Successful people are always open to learning, regardless of how much experience they have. They understand that every interaction, challenge, and failure is an opportunity to learn something new. For example, many successful business leaders have mentors, attend workshops, and read constantly to expand their knowledge. The importance of feedback. Another key aspect is feedback. Successful people actively seek feedback from others, whether it's from a colleague, mentor, or even competitors. They don't take criticism personally. Instead, they view it as an opportunity to improve. This ability to accept and act on feedback is what sets them apart from others. Letting fear control decisions. Why it's a mistake. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to success. It holds people back from taking risks, trying new things, and stepping out of their comfort zones. Whether it's the fear of failure, rejection, or making mistakes, many people let fear make their decisions for them. Reality check. Imagine you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but fear stops you from taking action. You might worry about failing, losing money, or being judged by others. As a result, you miss out on something that could have propelled you toward success. Successful people are not fearless. They experience fear just like everyone else. The difference is that they don't let fear dictate their actions. Instead, they acknowledge the fear and take calculated risks. They understand that failure is part of the journey, and that it's okay to make mistakes, as long as they learn from them. How successful people overcome fear. Rather than avoiding fear, successful people face it head-on. They use fear as a signal to prepare and learn more. They develop the courage to take risks, try new things, and challenge themselves, knowing that growth happens outside of their comfort zones. Giving up easily. Why it's a mistake. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they give up too soon. Success rarely happens overnight, and the road to achieving your goals is filled with setbacks, challenges, and failures. The key to success is perseverance. Reality check. Imagine starting a new business. You face numerous challenges, marketing failures, lack of customers, unexpected expenses, and more. It's easy to get discouraged and want to quit. But successful entrepreneurs don't give up when things get tough. They adapt, learn from their mistakes, and keep moving forward. How successful people stay persistent. Successful people don't let failure stop them. They understand that setbacks are temporary, and the only way to succeed is to keep going. They view obstacles as opportunities to grow and develop resilience. For example, famous entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk faced multiple failures before reaching success. Their persistence is what ultimately led to their breakthroughs. The power of grit. Grit, or the combination of passion and perseverance, is a key trait of successful people. They don't give up on their dreams, even when the road gets tough. They keep pushing forward, knowing that success requires time, effort, and persistence. Conclusion. The path to success. As we've explored, the path to success isn't just about working harder or being smarter. It's about avoiding the mistakes that can derail you, like failing to set clear goals, neglecting your mental health, taking learning opportunities for granted, letting fear control your decisions, and giving up too easily. By avoiding these mistakes, you'll be well on your way to achieving the success you deserve. Success is a journey, and while it may take time and effort, it is ultimately within your reach. The key is to keep going, keep learning, and keep improving. So, take these lessons to heart and start applying them today. Your success story is waiting to be written.